we start this show on this day, on September 8th, 2005.
On this day.
That's the date I choose to start this show.
2005.
September 8th, 2005. You were a happy camper that day, Chris Brockman.
What was I doing back then?
Because for the second straight year, the New England Patriots were opening up a season off of a Super Bowl win.
Those were great days, DJ.
Let me tell you this.
Good old days.
Let me tell you this. It was
days.
also the first 2 years the NFL started the tradition of opening up a season on a Thursday night in the home of the defending Super Bowl champs in front of their fans as they raise a banner. Second straight year they had done it.
Love it.
And it was the second straight year they were in Gillette. Bob Kraft, look at him, looking all Richard Dawson from The Running Man.
Sinatra at first.
No,
I
right?
know, it did look like Frank Sinatra.
Raising another banner. There it is.
We
Raising
are
it.
all Patriots.
Guess who was there? Ozzy Osbourne was singing Crazy Train and everything.
Dan it.
That's what's going on there.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at
And
that.
who was in the house also but the Oakland Raiders?
Oh,
Our
yeah.
boy Sapp was there.
Wow.
Okay.
Randy Moss was probably there, right?
He was indeed. The Patriots had to overcome a 73-yard touchdown strike from Kerry Collins to Randy Moss. But Tom Brady and the Patriots did their business and won 30-20, kicking off that night against the Oakland Raiders. Keep that in mind. Then the next week, September 18th, 2005, after a long respite,
Love it.
Patriots went on the road. And the league decided to give the Patriots and everybody else a rematch of the Super Bowl 2 years before, the first of two in a row for the Patriots. New England had to go to Carolina.
Hey.
They took on the Carolina Panthers, and Stephen Davis had a 3-touchdown day. There he is. By the way, also on this day, He Hate Me had 4 kickoff returns for over 100 combined yards. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Rod Smart.
Rod Smart.
He Hate Me.
XFL.
He Hate Me was there, but
Shout out.
Chris, you hated Stephen Davis because his 3 touchdown runs overcame a late Jake Delhomme pick 6 thrown to Mike Vrabel.
Oh, baby. All he does is catch touchdowns.
And the Carolina Panthers beat the Patriots on that day.
Dang it.
And they started 1-1 in their three-peat attempt, which has never been done. And they wound up losing in the divisional playoffs to Denver and
with
Jake
a bad
Delhomme.
Call because Champ
Jake
Bailey
Plummer.
fumbled through the end zone.
Well, it's kind of wild that when you look up the box score and you see 1 interception for 100 yards and no touchdowns. But at any rate,
sorry, still bitter about that.
the Denver Broncos with Jake Plummer. So Jake Delhomme beat the Patriots for the first time in that season, and Jake Plummer beat them for the final time. And thus, to this day, no three-peat. Why am I bringing all this up? Because we have, for the first time in 20 years, since that season, 20 seasons, 19 years, whatever you want to call it, first time in 2 decades, an attempt at a three-peat. The last time, as we just reviewed, the Patriots opened the season against the Oakland Raiders. Norv Turner brought in his Raiders after a 5-11 season into New England. And then the Patriots were told, you're going on the road in week 2 to take on the Panthers. Yes, there's a history that was between those two teams, very recent at that time. 7-9, though, the Panthers were the year before. And it's either different times or somebody went in the schedule makers' cornflakes because the schedule makers decided a three-peat attempt this time around. They're not going to put the 5-11 team in Arrowhead to start the season, and they certainly weren't going to back it up with a 7-9 team after that. We have found out over the last 24 hours.
Boom.
As we found out yesterday, NBC proudly announcing the season will begin on Thursday, September 5th, with the Ravens at the Chiefs. And just on this very day, on CBS this morning, CBS announced their first major telecast of the season, week 2, late window. CBS Jim Nantz, who will join us on Thursday's show, fresh off of the schedule release, and Tony Romo in Arrowhead.
Tony?
Joe Burrow. And the Bengals will be visiting.
Hello.
So, the NFL, with another three-peat attempt this time around, says we are going to continue the tradition of you raising the banner in front of your home folks, but the visitor will not be a 5-11 team from last year. It will be the team you had to beat in their building, a rematch of the AFC Championship game, just like that. And then, after a nice mini-bye, short respite, in comes the team, the only quarterback in the NFL today to have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, in the playoffs, in Patrick Mahomes' tenure, in this dynastic run. Joe Burrow, fresh off of his injury-marred season, and the Bengals visiting Kansas City, as clearly the NFL has decided that they are not going to make a three-peat an easy start for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now then, you could say they had to play him anyway, and that's the pushback on this whole schedule release thing is we already knew that the Ravens and Cincinnati were going to visit Arrowhead. They have to play them anyway. They're going to play them anyway. But this is my pushback to all those trolling the schedule release show is now that you know it starts back-to-back weeks to start the season. Now it's a totally different story, isn't it? Could have been Ravens week 4, Bengals week 12, with a couple other games mixed in. No, it's week 1, week 2, just like that. And the question is, as you look at their opponents, we had this already built because we were wondering who are they going to start with. They're certainly not going to choose another home date. It's not going to be 3 in a row. Who are they going to visit on the road the week after? I mean, take a look at the options here.
Division game at Denver.
A division game would be wild. Out of division opponents, the Steelers, the Bills, the Falcons, they have to go visit them.
Well, they'll do
Browns.
at Carolina, give them a win. We can't have the defending champs 0-3.
But Carolina is, you'd have to think, right? Like, what is this so-called easiest opponent for them?
Oh, Carolina for sure.
Is 100%. And if it's not Carolina, holy smokes. That is a very rough schedule start for the defending Super Bowl champs. And you'd have to sit here and say, well, hey, listen, you have won back-to-back Super Bowls. You know, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have the target on your back anyway. I guess if you had told the Chiefs earlier this week, hey, you start the first 2 games of your season at home, you'd be like, okay, great. Oh, it's against the Ravens and the Bengals. Oh, well, say what?
Come again?
And then who's going to be next at home for them? Now then, we can now remove the Ravens and the Bengals from their options, and we have done so for our radio audience on the screen. The only way we can mark off these games is with a face of Taylor Swift on them.
I would say that wasn't the only way we could
send me that.
Are you kidding me? Of course. As a matter of fact, we might just, real time it, because tomorrow maybe another Chiefs game gets announced before the schedule gets released.
That's funny.
So who's next? I mean, every option is you got the 3 division opponents.
Yeah, but 9 road games, so I would imagine back-to-back road games.
I don't know about that, pal.
Well, you've already knocked off 2, so now suddenly you're 9-7 with games left. So.
Sir, this is wild. And again, this is what now you're when you start ordering them together, you begin to see the gauntlet you have to run. So you want to give them another road game? Is it against Cleveland, who Dallas is starting the season with at home? We found out that yesterday from Fox. Could it be,
I might have to go to
what are you
that.
going to throw San Francisco in that mix? Or are you going to put a division game?
How about this? At Buffalo week 3, Bills coming off the mini bye because they're the Thursday night week 2 opener.
That just got announced by Amazon.
Just got announced.
What is it?
Chiefs start 0-3. It's Dolphins at Bills at Dolphins week 2.
So,
Amazon,
Chris, can I ask you a question?
So it's Bills at Dolphins.
at Dolphins week 2 Thursday night
So,
kickoff.
okay.
Why are you doing this to yourself? They're coming for you, bro. I can already hear you're putting them 0-3. I can hear them on Twitter.
0-3. Bills, Chiefs 0-3.
They're coming for him, Rich.
Well, I first of all,
Just warming up for next week.
First of all,
You're finished. You're done.
First of all, the Chiefs are still the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, and I'm just pointing out the way the league started the season of the last team that was attempting a three-peat,
No, I'm just
and now
saying
that what they're doing this time around, and I know, Chris, we're marking off the L's, okay, but clearly you're doing that just to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm just
but the point is, it's entirely possible they do start 0-2, split it. That's a rough start. It's a very rough start. And the last thing that we need to do and look up the New Eras tour. Where is she? September 8th and September 5th and pardon me, September 5th, and then let's do the math.
2024 concert
September
dates.
5th and then the
Hold on a
15th.
second. Let's
I was literally
see.
just looking
Where's
at
she gonna
Childish
be?
Gambino. He's on a new
Where's she
world.
gonna be?
October, not till October.
Oh, okay,
Not
there we
till
go.
October.
So let's go.
In the States. She's overseas.
Let's go.
Right now.
Oh, I know that because my oldest son is checking
is
out
he
all
trying
the
to go?
No, he's checking out all the bootleg stuff on YouTube.
Oh, nice. Bunch of July dates in Italy.
He's warning me. He
Germany.
goes, she kicked someone off Twitch, Dad. I'm telling you, this is crazy. He's playing some
Austria.
song, and he's like, Dad, this is about Travis Kelce.
Oh, you
Where
said,
she feels like she's back in high school.
did you say at
I'm
one
telling
point
you,
he
man.
told
So her
you, like-
last international date is August 20th at Wembley, and then she's off for a little bit, and then October 18th, Miami.
Oh, she's back in the. Oh, this is great.
Rich,
We're
did
going to
you
have
say
another
Sam said
season.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We're finding out how the league is just serving up the filet mignon for all of their partners and for all the fans right out of the gate. Bills and Dolphins is another one. And then we found out the Monday night, first Monday nighter is Jets at 49ers. I can't wait to unpack that one later on. Football, baby.
Football.
Right in the middle of May, which is why they released the schedule this way. We're all talking about it, and so are you, trolls who don't like to give the flowers to the schedule release show that the schedule release show deserves.
Mission
Because
critical.
I'm sitting there for damn straight. It's mission critical.
It's mission
And
critical.
I'm a mission critical employee. I'm an MCE tomorrow night for NFL Network. I signed the NDA to be an MCE for NFLN, and you better be there.
Yeah.
Woo! Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.